and welcome to the Gussets and Godos podcast. My name's Christina and this is my podcast about my knitting, stitching and crafting. We're in July now, so I've had a little break from the podcast, and the last episode that I did I filmed before I had a baby and then I published it quite some time after I had a baby. So thank you so much to everybody who contacted me with congratulations or put a comment on my video, and that was really, really kind of you. Lila is now 3 months and 2 weeks old, I think. Everything went fine. I went in for my cesarean. We had to wait for ages. I thought they were going to send me home and then to come back after the Easter weekend, but that did not happen. That would have been very annoying. Didn't happen. Happened on the right day. Went in. They gave me a baby. I think it was my baby from my belly, but it might have been a baby from the cupboard. Who knows? They might have a stash. Jason said it would be more hassle for them to keep babies in cupboards than it would be to give the one that you came in with. So that was a really bizarre thing. And then Jason was shooed away and because of COVID, so then I was on my own. And I didn't really mind. I know a lot of people have been really traumatised by that, by being alone in hospital and not having people with them to support them, but I was absolutely fine. All the midwives were really great, and then they asked me to leave the next day because I was there in less than 24 hours, which was super bizarre. Managed to do 1 minute 45 seconds before somebody starts crying. Can you hear that? What a little gremlin. Anyway, I'm going to get back onto the podcasting now, and yeah, so let's start with what I'm wearing. This blouse is an old blouse, and it is the Cologne blouse by Bella Loves Patterns, and it's a fantastic little pattern. I added bust darts, waist darts, and I added back waist darts. But otherwise, everything is as the pattern suggests. What I really like about it is because I'm quite broad, the poofiness for the sleeves comes from the drop shoulder, and I just think it's really flattering. So I still get the kind of popular, at the moment it's quite fashionable to have big sleeves, while you can still get a nice sleeve, but you don't look like super on the shoulders. And I've got quite a few nice little blouses, but none of my skirts fit me. None. My dresses fit me now, mostly. I did explode out of one dress recently. The zip popped. It was fine. I thought it was hilarious, to be honest. It's just really funny. It wasn't like out and about. I was at home and it was while I was doing the zip up. It would have been a different story if I was in the supermarket and my dress had burst open. I mean, that would have been quite humiliating, to be fair, but okay. So I didn't have anything to wear with these cute little tops that I had. This was an old make, but the skirts that I had to wear with it didn't fit, so I decided, let's make something. And I decided to make a wrap skirt because having just had a baby, I thought, okay, I'm bigger than I would usually be. I don't know how long it takes to maybe reduce in size, maybe not reduce in size, maybe gain weight. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to your figure after you have a baby? Wrap skirt. Yeah, wrap skirt. So I went and got some lovely linen viscose mixed fabric from Somi Sunshine. I got it online actually. I didn't obviously go. They're mostly an online shop anyway. And I actually can't tell the difference with that base than just the linen base. I thought that it would have like a more of a drape to the fabric, but it didn't. Anyway, this is the skirt. So Nina, honestly, you scallywag. So it has one dart in the waist on one side, one dart in the waist on the other side. I added an additional dart, so it's meant to have one on each side, and I added 2 for my shape. I also added a centre back seam. because I had limited fabric and I couldn't fit it on the fold. And also I made a narrower waistband, so I made it 1 inch. And how else? So I added a popper, and then it ties to the side. It's meant to have an opening which you thread through. I didn't like that. And the good thing about sewing is you can change it however you want it. So the popper worked better for me, and then you tie it on the side. One other amendment I made was it's meant to be A-line, and I just made it straight. So not pencil, but straight. And it's really fun. It's a nice little skirt. Wait, you don't need to see my blouse. So yeah, nice and easy. If it blows open in the wind, that is the maximum that you see, just FYI. I always wear shorts anyway, but that would be the maximum, because obviously with a wrap, that is a consideration. Thank you very much. Oh, look at you. Oh, she hates to be picked up. She's a very, very good big sister, by the way. She leaves the baby alone and shows no interest in her, which couldn't be better, could it really? Okay. Oh, in case I didn't say what the pattern was, it's a free pattern, which is always good. It's from Peppermint magazine, and it's their wrap skirt. Yeah, the size goes up to a 54-inch hip, I believe, and I just download it for free online. So that was fun. Didn't have to pay for the pattern, and it's a really nice pattern. Very easy to sew. The instructions were clear, and they have got quite a few different free patterns. All very simple, all really, really simple. So that's always good. So yeah. This skirt, I was so happy with it. It's so easy to wear, and I have worn it, and it does wrinkle, but not to a crazy extent, and I don't mind the wrinkles. So that's good. Oh, the next thing I made. You all know how much I love the Great British Sewing Bee. I love it. I love to hate it, and I love to love it both at the same time. So 1 week on the latest series, and they had to make a romper for a baby. They had to make one of these, and they provided it for free on their website. So I had to download it. Obviously I had to make it, and I now realise why the contestants in that show make stupid mistakes, because the instructions are shocking. Shocking! I had no idea what I was doing. At a few points in this, I was like, what is it talking about? Is that the front of the garment? Is that the inside of the garment? Is it what's happening? I don't know. But it really is super cute, and yeah, the little gathered waist with the little kind of pinafore front, the crossover straps. I put the buttons on the outside because I thought they were really cute. The elastic is in the back. I've never seen something so drawn in with elastic, so that's interesting. There are elastic legs as well, but not super elasticated, just a little bit. And then poppers, 3 poppers in the crotch. So that's also good, that you can change babies rather than take off the whole garment. That is appreciated. I just wanted to sew a garment from the Sewing Bee. I don't know why. I saw that it was available and I thought, yes, I'm gonna make one. I did not time myself. I should have timed myself. I should have given myself a really stressful environment. Maybe kind of played some stressful music and put a timer. That would have been really not fun, but then I could see how quickly I could sew it in. It did. I think it took me about 2 hours. I don't know how long they were given. And did I do it all in one go? Yeah, I did it all in one go. It was just such a fun make. It only comes in one size, I guess, as it's a free pattern. It was made just for you to have a go, just for you to see kind of interactive TV. You can make the same garment that they made on Kids Week. So I would recommend it. You just have to pay attention on the instructions, and the way in which they make it, the order of things is not necessarily how I personally would have done it. But yeah, I think the size, is it 9 months? Something like that. So it doesn't fit Lila now, but it will. It will be too cold to wear it, so then she's going to have to wear like a little Peter Pan collared blouse underneath, and then some like woolly tights and a cardigan or something. Or maybe a jumper on top. But it doesn't matter that it's not a seasonally appropriate garment for a baby. You just layer them up, and she could not care less if she's wearing a summer floral in a winter month. This fabric was again from Sew Me Sunshine. It's called Rose and Hubble, the brand. It's really cute fabric. I thought that it looked quite Liberty, and that's why I got it. I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to make some pajamas or a dress or something out of it, but instead I decided to make myself an apron and a small child a romper. So there's the romper. I also made an apron. JC, I'm just doing my podcast. He's making a bit of too much noise, really, isn't it? I daren't tell him to be quiet. Yeah, so I decided to make an apron. So one of the criteria for the fabric was that it is splatter proof for tomato sauces. You see, I would love a beautifully crisp white linen or muslin apron, very Anne of Green Gables. Who can keep that clean? You'd have to wash it after every wear. That's just ludicrous. So this fabric is a quilting cotton. That's the same as the other one. And I didn't use any tutorial or pattern. It's just kind of knocked up together. But let me put it on. It does take me a second to put it on. Another one of the criteria was that I did not want a knot on the back of my neck. So usually these two straps here, you would knot in the back. Now after years of wearing swimsuits that are halter necks, that dig in so tight on the back of your neck, they give you a tension headache at the beach. What a load of rubbish. I'm not interested in a halter neck anymore. I have gone past that in my life. Halter necks are banned. Banned, banned, banned. So let me move you back. I used a bodice block and just cut a square out and of my bodice block and left the darts in, which gives a little bit of shape around the bust. I made a little strip for the waistband, and the waistband is wider than the top, whatever this pinafore flap is called. And then I did a big rectangle that I gathered in, and I brought that further across. So that's narrower, that goes further. So you get a nicer wrap around. So, you know, your full skirt is really protected. We've got rickrack all around the edge, so that's just the rectangle of fabric. Really fun, rickrack around. And then the way it fastens is this strip goes all the way along the side, and then it's super long, crisscross it over in the back. You thread it through a little loop on my side and tie it in the back. It's so cute. Yeah, super duper cute. I'm really happy with it. The reason that I used a bodice pattern, a plain one, and cut a square out of it and allowed darts was because I didn't want a really flappy side. I wanted it to lay quite flat on the sides. And if you're busty, you do need that dart to shape. If I'd have wanted to do just completely a square, and I didn't want so much flapping, I would have had to make it narrower. So it would have come in and I'd have lost those sides. And that just seemed a bit pointless to me because then I'm going to be getting side splatter of the tomato sauce. A lot of thought went into this apron. I did spend quite an excessive amount of time worrying about my apron and how I was going to make it. Complete waste of time, but I mean, what else are you going to do? I had nothing else to do at the time, so that was fine. Waste your time making an apron. And it's fabulous. The rickrack made all the difference as far as I'm concerned. Kind of looks a bit 70s with the rickrack, I don't know. I wasn't going for a particular like era or style, I just wanted a practical yet fun apron. Now, an apron, super good project for a beginner. If you've never sewn anything before, get yourself an apron pattern, or have a look on Pinterest for a pattern, or have a look on YouTube. There's loads of stuff out there. It really is cutting out squares, rectangles, everything's sewn in a straight line. There are no curves. I mean, of course you can get apron patterns that are all frills and scallops and ruffles and pockets. And I specifically did not put pockets, because if I put pockets in an apron, I'm going to fill it with things and then I'm going to forget that I put things in there, and then I'm going to be running around looking for whatever that thing was in my apron pocket. Waste of time. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it, and now I can make as much tomato sauce as I want. We do eat a lot of tomato sauce based pastas. Excuse me?
You just said I like something tomatoey.
He likes something tomatoey. Never podcast with another person in the house before. It's a little bit distracting. So if you could refrain from commenting on the podcast, we would appreciate it. Oh, so this dress, which you can just about see in shot. This is an old dress. This is made by, the pattern was made by Colette, which is now Seamwork. This was their Rue dress. There was a lot of like talk about this pattern at the time. Just flushing the toilet. That's all part of the glamour of podcasting. Yeah, so this is an old pattern. I made this quite some time ago. The fabric was from Spoonflower. When I used to have a blog, they sent me the fabric for free and I made this dress. I really like this dress, but it is problematic because, let me tuck the sleeve in. The distance between the armpit and the beginning of this piping detail is 1.5 inches. My bust line is not my under bust is not 1.5 inches under my armpit. This is my armhole. This is where it should have started, which is maybe 5 inches. What was I thinking? And I made a toile for this. I can tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking if I put this piping in the correct place and I curved it underneath here, I was thinking that you wouldn't see it because it would be swallowed by a bosom. Which is true. However, putting piping that cuts across your bosom looks stupid. It looks stupid. So, the most sustainable garment that you can buy is the one that's already in your wardrobe. You don't want to buy a new one. You want to fix the one that you've got. There's a quote about that. It's very eloquent. I did just butcher it, but there we go. So, I have ordered a metre of this same fabric. Slight issue, they don't have the same base. This was the Kona cotton quilting, which I really liked it. It's really thick and really tightly woven. I have bought whatever their equivalent is now. It's not going to be the same. I just hope that's why I bought a metre. I could have bought a fat quarter, cut these panels down and just replaced this top piece. And I reckon I could have got it in a fat quarter. Obviously I'd have had to do the pattern and measure it, but I could have got it in much less. But if it's not quite right, then I'm going to have to remake the whole bodice, which I can do with a metre of fabric. So if you can't tell, I will only use what I need. I won't do the whole thing, and I can make my daughter Lila some little polka dot bloomers. Oh my gosh, yes, polka dot bloomers. Otherwise I'll have to redo the whole bodice. The skirt is fine, it needs to be washed and ironed, but I thought I'll wait for the fabric to arrive and then I'll bung it all in the washing machine together rather than doing 2 separate loads. I mean, putting one dress in on its own is a bit wasteful, isn't it? So that is a plan. I did put it on the other day. It fits really nicely. It's just that this line is in completely the wrong place, and also because this line is in the wrong place, I get a strain line across here. You can see a pull across there, which does not look nice because that is meant to be under your bust. I don't know if you probably can't see from there, but there are 2 tucks here and here, which just goes around the bust, and it's super cute. It's a really, really nice dress. I think the reason I wanted to make it is whatever their shoot was, I can't remember what the fabric they used, but it was in an orchard, an apple orchard, and she just looked so cute. So I wanted one too. And you could definitely go to an apple orchard in this dress. You wouldn't want to, probably. But you could. I liked this fabric. The reason I chose this fabric was because the polka dots are not uniform. They're all like all over the place and a bit crazy, and I really like that. Mostly polka dots are in a grid and they're too ordered for my mind. I'm a little bit more all over the place. Fabulous. Oh, I'm going to show you one more project before you go. Stick around a bit longer. So, oh wait, maybe 2. I've been working on my sister's scarf, which she wanted for this winter coming, but in Australia, which is now. Sorry, Caroline. You will not be having your scarf for this winter. She can have it for if she comes. I don't think she's coming for Christmas to the UK. I just don't think that's happening, but anyway. It will be here if that happens. So I had a problem where there was a join in the yarn, so I unravelled back and fixed it. Now there is no line. However, I don't understand why some bits are super white, some bits are barely white, some bits are extra white. Why is it not consistent? Why is this not consistent? That makes me mad. I'm being mocked by this stupid scarf. Sorry, it's rolling as well, it needs blocking. I don't understand. I do not understand.
Very good cupcakes, thank you.
Welcome. I'm sorry they're orange, not pink. I baked him cupcakes this morning. It was all a bit of a hoo-ha. He went to go and get his second COVID jab. Yay! And I baked him reward cupcakes, but they were meant to have pink icing, except the colour, the bottle of food colouring was meant to be red, but it was orange. I mean, it said red on the label, but it did not matter. I put half the bottle in and it was still orange. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to finish this. It's fun to knit. You know, look, I've done loads. How much scarf have we got? It's a nice colour. She's got bluer eyes than me, so it will look really cute on her. And she's going to really love it. And yeah, oh, this is the yarn. I've got an extra ball here. King Cole, Big Value, Baby Soft Chunky. Colour is Seafoam 2393. Anyway, she's gonna love it. It's very Elsa from Frozen, I feel. So sometimes when I'm knitting on it, I do get the Let It Go song, which I like. That doesn't annoy me. It probably would annoy Jason. But yeah, this is her Elsa stuff. I might make a matching hat, we'll see. I've still got plenty of yarn, and I'm going to do tassels on the end. It's just mocking me though. I went all the trouble of unravelling to that point where last time there was a stupid join, and now the other colours are going wrong. Why are these bits really white? Maybe the dye lots are different. Oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe that's it. Maybe I've got different dye lots. Well, I'm not going to check now, am I, with you on the screen? That would be so boring. Christina just rooting around through all of her balls and checking the dye lots. Oh, the last project. And I'm so enjoying it. It is my English paper piecing. Scooch back, scooch back. Much better. So it's big. I've started to fill the empty spaces. There's one. Sorry. I've finished all the edges now, so they're ready to be cut down. And yeah. So all the sides are done. Just need to fill the spaces, and I have almost 100% committed that I'm going to hand quilt it. I know that's ludicrous, but seeing as this whole thing has been hand stitched together, I just feel like it's what a waste of all that time to then just whack it through the machine. I mean, not that you actually whack it through the machine. No, you wouldn't whack it through the machine. I would. I'm a whacker. I would whack it through the machine. Just get it done. It would start off really neatly and it would just get it in the machine. Just take it. So I'm going to eliminate that process and just know that it's going to take me probably another year. Probably another year. How long does it take to hand quilt a quilt? I'm not going to do anything fancy. I think I'm just going to do straight lines. Just do a grid. I might start off just going in the middle between, just on the coral, between my flowers, and then a grid going back. So I think I'll start by doing that and just see how it goes. I'll definitely need to do the lines closer together than that to get the result I want, and so you do need to have your stitching closer together. I think the last time I bought batting, it said on the label you needed to have your lines 20 centimetres apart at the max, which is like that. But I like them close together. I think it makes it more lumpy and like more fun, more like. So So yeah, when I was doing the edges, I was getting a bit fed up with all of the corally colour. I mean, it was a bit mundane. However, now I can see the end is in sight and I've got not much left to do. Now I'm back to really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. So I have now finished preparing all the hexagons. I drew around my template, I cut them all out, took me forever, cut them all out. I used the glue stick to stick the fabric to my paper pieces, and then I sat on the sofa and I hand stitched for ever and ever. Very therapeutic. And I made the shapes first that fill the empty spaces, and then I stitched those pieces in. It's really not so easy to stitch a piece into a negative space. That's much more challenging than making the rosettes that I made. That is doable, and I have also been taking out papers. I know some people keep the papers in. All my papers are out except for the ones that are needed, which is only the one row, so only the ones around that empty space there. There's just papers in here. All the rest would not have any. There may be the odd paper left in by accident in the wrong space. I have, as I've been stitching them in, I have found the odd paper by accident still left in, but that's fine. I'm going to have to go through at the end and really be rigorous and just make sure there's not one paper left. But yeah, that is all I've got to show you for today. Hopefully the next time I show you that, the top will be done. But I'm going to need to put the money aside for the batting and wadding and the backing. I haven't chosen the backing yet. I think the backing should be quite a busy print, because then it doesn't show dirt. If I use it on the grass, it won't. Like if I used a pretty light colour, it would show every mark, every stain, wouldn't it? And I would like to be able to use that wherever I want to, whether we're going to use it outside or inside. However, probably would be more for indoor picnics than outdoor picnics, in all honesty. I do have a nice picnic blanket that's got that bottom PVC fabric on it, so that no moisture goes through to your bum when you're sitting on it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to make the best efforts now to be more regular with my podcasting, and yeah, I've missed podcasting, and I missed making for my pregnancy. I didn't make very much, so now I feel really invigorated. I've got lots of sewing plans. I have stashed a lot of yarn, which you can't see. Oh, I hope you can't see the mess that's under there. Oh, some serious. Anyway, I've got some yarn stashed, I've got some fabric stashed, ready for autumn, and maybe I can share with you some of my plans another time. Anyway, for now, thank you for being here, and see you soon. Bye guys.